Hello everybody, it's Flesson19, and today I want to bring you how I actually do smithing. This is for my live stream that I'm currently doing on Twitch, and I don't do it that often. However, if you want to see me on Twitch, just go to twitch.tv/Flesson19 for my channel, and you can just go ahead and follow me, and then that way you'll know when I'm going to stream. It'll let you know. Doesn't happen often. I hope to do it more, but it will exactly let you know, hey, he's on, and you can come talk with me and chit-chat and hang out. So people do smithing for 3 reasons. One is to make items. You can probably make better items in the game than what's out there. There's some stats that'll be a little different, but for the most part, it's going to be better. It's just a lot easier to actually get them. 2 is to gain skill. It is really the best way that you can gain a bunch of skill levels with companions and yourself. And then 3 is to make money. Right now it is completely broken. So what you put into a weapon, you can put maybe about 4 fine steel and 3 steel, and you can end up getting yourself 120, 130,000 for the item. So those are the 3 reasons you do it, but we're not going to make money on this. So what I currently have in my playthrough, I believe I am at day 244. Yeah, I'm at day 244 right now. I have all my companions, which is 5 of them. I have my wife, I have my big brother, and my big brother's wife. So as you can see, we have 9 people to smith. So we can get a lot done in a day. Now, I have also picked up a ton of hardwood, as you can see here. I have almost 1,400 hardwood to go through. Plus, I have the items that I'm going to go ahead and I am going to smelt down. There are 2 specific items right now that are completely broken in what they give you. And these are the 2 items. These items you get from Empire Land. Only from Empire. You can see what they get. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And they're really cheap. They're only about $2.50, I think. And then these daggers you only get from the Esrai Land. So as you can see, I have a bunch of them. So the first thing I am going to do is smithing is refining and smelting. I'm going to have some guys refining the hardwood into charcoal, and I'm going to have some go ahead and smelt all these items. This is where you want to be smart in what you're going to do, because you have to pick points. So you need to decide how you want to do this. And why it is so important at first is because the decisions you make now will seriously affect how fast you can learn all these parts. Normally what I do is I will take my first 3 characters and we will be smelters. We are going to smelt the weapons. I take my last 2 characters and they are not going to be refiners or curious smiths. That's what these people will be. There's a reason why I'm doing it this way. As we go on, you'll start to realize. So what I take is my first 3 are going to smelt, and then these guys are going to be my refiners, because they're going to have to go ahead and most likely make the steel and fine steel. So just remember that. We'll get to that here soon. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take our first 3 characters and we are going to go through and we are going to start getting some charcoal. And I'm not going to show you every single moment of this. I will be showing quite a bit. So if this video is long, there is a reason for it. Now that those guys are done, now we're going to go over and we are going to start smelting. I guess I could go just from the top. Get the other stuff out of the way, like this stuff. And that way it looks a lot cleaner. There. I accidentally locked it. I did not want to lock it. There we go. I'm not sure why I locked them. Oh, they're locked in the inventory. As you can see, we are learning parts. Whenever you smelt or smith, you learn parts. So that is what we are going to do right now. That is it. The first 3 are going to do the refining, and the rest are going to do the smelting. Now you got to wait, and it's not a full day. If you want to get real stickler to it and try to plan it out perfectly, you can save in-game time. However, it's going to cost you real life time because you got to go in and you got to check. Do we have 100 yet? Are they 100? Are they 100? Oh, no, he's not 100. So let's go back. So a lot of times I don't try to be perfect with this. I really don't. I figure it's just under a day. We're back to full. So now we're going to do the same thing again. The first 3 are going to be refining. And then the rest of them will be smelting these items. And that is to get all of our materials. Once we are done doing all of this, then we're going to actually get to the point where we are going to start making stuff. That is where it is going to come into play, where you need to make sure you have mapped out exactly what characters are going to choose what skills, because they will help you in the long run. And in fact, we need to get some more. We have to get more charcoal, so I might just take everybody and have everybody go ahead and make some charcoal now, since we're starting to run low on that. But I also, what I did in this character, in which I do a lot of times, is I spent a little bit of time getting 125 trade. I now have artisan community. That gives me 1 renown for each profitable workshop I own. So I took a little bit of time to do that, and I currently have 3 workshops. So I am making 3 renown a day for nothing. Before when we finish, this is going to be anywhere between halfway through clan tier 3 up to clan tier 4. So I took the time to do that because I know how long it's going to take me to do this. Now I'm in Saiyanon for one major reason. This is the best hub to get hardwood. You have 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. They are supplying Saiyanon with hardwood. So while I'm sitting here, I'm going to get more hardwood. So we're just going to go ahead and have everybody do hardwood right now. As you can see, we're not really able to keep up with it, and doing this early on is the easiest way for you to go ahead and level. And really, for the first perk, you could practically choose everybody to go ahead and make charcoal. And the reason why is because the other perk, all it's really meant to do is to take crude iron to make it into iron. Raw iron, which really you're not going to want to do. It just takes up way too much time to do that. There we go. So now we got some hardwood built up. Now, after every time I make something, I will check everybody's levels. And the reason why I do that is because I want to make sure that if they get an important perk, they can use it. Or if they've leveled, they can put those skill points or attribute points into the smithing or the control or the endurance, so they can get skill faster. Because we do not want to spend a lot of time doing this. That is not what we're doing. We're just trying to get the skill done as quick as possible so we can become a vassal, which is exactly what I'm going to do later on. I will say today, when this video is released, I'm going to go right to becoming either a mercenary or a vassal. So this is the absolute last step in the process, is just making the weapons. So if you followed me on Twitch, which you can actually see all the live streams I did on Twitch, or you could go ahead and watch them on YouTube. Some of the YouTube didn't come out too good, probably the Twitch as well, because I had a problem with the recording software. So some of it didn't come out too good. As you can see, somebody leveled. Most likely that's not going to be an actual level. It'll probably be somebody that can now make efficient charcoal. So we are absolutely, I do check these all the time. There we go. I can now do efficient charcoal. See, that's just crude iron to the raw iron. To me, it's just not worth it. However, you don't know if somebody else is leveled, so when you see that come up once, you got to kind of run through them all. I do it because I want to be as efficient as possible. You do not need to do it if you don't want to. You can wait a few times in between and work on your smithing that way. But now you can see I do 3 to 2. That's what these guys are going to do. My first 3 are going to do that. So they're going to make it very efficiently. Once we get these all smelted down, then we're going to get to the process where I'm going to show you exactly what I make. There are 2 versions that you can do this. You can do this with making all these with fine steel and steel, or you can do it with javelins. Now, javelins are good to do if you do not have a lot of materials. They're very good to do. They take up a charcoal, a hardwood, and I thought something else it contained, like I think 1 piece of iron is all it takes. You don't get as much skill as you would how I'm going to do it. It's still good, very good. I'm not saying that you don't want to do it. If you don't have the materials like I'm going to have, or if you do this like I am doing it and you end up running out of materials, then yes, you can switch over to the javelins. It's a little bit of a long process to go through and do all this. But that's where I'm also now getting free renown, because I got artisan. I'll be able to pick up another companion before we're finished. Now, it would be nice if these guys could go ahead and have curious smelters so they can learn 100% more parts doing this. However, that's a pretty high skill. I can't remember if it's 75 or 100. But we're fine with it for now. That's not exactly what we're looking at. We'll get to that when it's time. And we guessed it pretty good. They're at 100, ready to go. I planned out my character, so I'm full on smithing. I don't know how many they're doing. Are they doing 8? Looks like 9. 115. It looks like they're doing 9 each. So we only need to do this 2 more times and we're done. We're ready to start building. We'll do 2 times and we're finished. The longest part is just going to be smithing. Smithing, smelting, smithing, smelting. You're just going to do it over and over again. And I don't want to show all of it, but there are some very important things that happen along the way, especially when it comes to choosing skills. This is why we're at Saiyanon. You're starting out with 1,000 hardwood and you think you got a bunch. I only have 230 charcoal. We're going to go through probably 1,000 or more charcoal before this is said and done. And that's why we're stationed here. Because what you do is you wait a little bit and then you go check and you buy up the hardwood that they have. Or if it's been long enough, you go run to the 3 villages and buy all of their hardwood, which you can get a lot more of it that way. So we're going to make a quick little gander now that we did this. And we're going to see what they have for hardwood as the price come back down under 10. And it's 9, so I'm going to buy all of it. There, boom. I have more hardwood. That's why I picked Saiyanon. That we don't like to see. That's bad. Those guys need to go after that. That guy's going to go ahead and take out our villagers. Almost 25. They're almost done with that. This guy will finish it off. Perfect. Even though you'd like to be proficient in the charcoal, I want to get the charcoal made. You can do 30 a day. So we can do 270 a day. So I'll probably do this one more time. And then we're going to get right to smithing. This is where things are going to start flying. Depending on the parts that you get, the luckier you get with the parts, the faster you can go. We're going to spend somewhere around probably 100 days doing it. There's a quick way and there's a slow way. And that's whether or not you want to get legendary. That's the big question that you have to ask. I don't think it's necessarily needed to get legendary, because all you're going to do is add 2 or 3 stats most likely to a, 2 or 3 things, which is nice, but is it worth spending potentially an extra 50 to 100 days doing? A lot of times I don't think so. But that's your preference. It all depends on what type of game you want to play. Obviously, if you're playing a death game, you would like to have at least one companion that has really good skill. So that way they can go ahead and they can make items when a character dies. So as you can see now, we're doing pretty good on that. We're pretty much set. So now we're going to start doing the actual smithing. And it's really easy to know what to make. It is the simplest thing if you just know basically what the formula is, really. Let us go in. Now, you always want to choose two-handed swords. The only rule to this is 2 things, I should say. You want the highest damage, but you want it two-handed, and that is the handle. You do not want to choose a handle, as you can see there, that gives 2 different, a one-handed and a two-handed. You do not want that. So all you're looking for is the highest damage. And the highest damage doesn't always mean what's way down here. It doesn't always mean that. So you really need to look at the damage that you're getting. We've got to get off this handle. So all we're looking at is, I look at, this damage right here. So 71.44, 70.42. So they're about the same. We got the handle done. We got that done. All right, there's our first weapon. Not the greatest. We are not going to do this. We're going to actually go backwards. And the reason why is because we want these guys to smelt the weapons. Doesn't matter about it. You only build 3 at a time. You do not care about naming it, because we are not selling these. We are going to go ahead and we are going to smelt them down. Because as you see what it takes, when you go to smelt it, it'll probably be 1, 2, and 1. You're only going to lose a half an iron, or 1 iron, in the entire process. Now, after each time I do check skills. Some people don't. I like to do it because I want to be able to choose it. Now, this is your first part. You want the first 3 people to be curious smelters. They're going to be the ones smelting the stuff down, and chances of learning a part is increased by 100%. So I make my first 3 curious smelters. And now these are making charcoal. And I don't remember the last people. They have this a little out of order. So I need to see the 3 people that are at the back. Because these people at the back are not going to be curious smiths. You have to sacrifice making, I believe it is, iron for, or steel to find steel. So the Scholar and Frostbeard, now they should be near the back. So what we want to do is pull up this list and double check who's at the back. There's Frostbeard and the Scholar. So they are at the back. And I believe it is this, is it 75? Yeah. You want all these other guys to be curious smiths. That is not till we get to 75. Now, you could see we did not gain a whole lot of skill, and that's because those weapons didn't give high damage. But now that we went ahead and we did some smithing and smelting, we are now going to get higher damage out of them. We're going to unlock parts. There's certain parts, and I know which ones the 4 of them that are absolutely amazing. And we just hope that we get those parts unlocked. So back to two-handed. What you can do is just click on it. You'll see that it's, there you go, 90. That's definitely better. Okay. 105. Take that one. That's got the 2 we don't want. That's got the 1. We're at 107. 109. 109. There, we are now up to 111. I'm not sure how high that was, but now I have Curious Smelter on my other guys. So they're going to learn even more parts. And you gain about as much smelting as you do smithing. Because you're smelting an item that has a huge value on it. So this guy has Curious Smelter, so he's going to gain quite a few parts. Now we go through skills again. I did gain a level. Now, I am not a Curious Smith. I do not want that. Because this is a 2 units of steel into, fine steel. The only smiths are going to be those other 5 guys after my main guys, which you'll see. But now you want to start figuring out where you're going to put your points. So this is really important to determine exactly what your character is going to be. Because as you can see, I already have this done. So you really want to figure out where you're going to put those points. You are a Curious Smith. No, you're not. That would be You just got to remember who you're doing. He's going to be a smelter. And then that would be my wife. So as you can see, now, some people don't know this, but if this is hard cap, they still gain EXP towards their level. They're still going to level. It's really slow. But yeah, they're still going to gain it. You don't, but they will. Leanna is not my wife, so she is steel. Savannah is my wife, but she does need a curious smith. Once you get everybody's skills set up to the curious smith, then it's not a huge deal. Savannah is a smelter. So I have my 3 smelters set up. There. So now that most of the smiths are set up, we are going to gain a ton of parts. Might have to go get rid of that pack of 34 looters. I don't like them just sitting there. So always the 2-handed. That one is really good. These 2 are really good. That's not the one you want. That's the one you want. That's the best damage one. But for now, 140 damage. 151. 151. 2. No, that's a double. That's a double. These are all 2. You gotta get off that. You can't have that. So we're at 152. 4, 156. We'll take that one. We're now to 156 damage. 33 points he gained. We have a really good one. You'll see the points they gain. 28. Now they're all going to level. They're going to go absolutely haywire because we got so much damage. You want to get as high a damage as possible. I was at 103. I am now 137. 137. You gain that much smelting. We're going to have a lot of skills. All right, I am not going to choose Experienced Smith. I don't really care about that. Now, this is when you have to be smart. You have to decide. This is one of the last choices you have to make. Do you want someone to be a practical refiner or smelter? It's going to have the stamina loss. Now, obviously, I'm doing both. However, my main purpose is to smelt. Therefore, just myself and my wife will normally be the only one smelting. Because as soon as people get the smithing one, Vigorous Smith, Practical Smith, where it's halved. Instead of making 3 items, they're going to make 6. As you can see, parts are still going. So that's where you have to decide. I am a smelter, and my wife will be a smelter. Who are the last 2 again? Scholar and Frostbeard. So he is a curious smith. Endurance. Boom. And you are a curious smith. Endurance point. 2 levels. It was Scholar and Frostbeard. So he is a steelmaker and a steelmaker, not a curious smith. That is not my wife. So she's going to be steelmaker. My wife, she is going to be the refiner as well. Frostbeard, he is a steelmaker. You just need to write down who's going to do what. And as I'm going through this, I'm kind of explaining how I went ahead and determined who is what. We are refining. Us three right here, we are refiners. Or we're smelters, excuse me. We're smelting the items that these guys are making. These guys are curious smiths, so they gain more parts. We're curious smelters, so we gain more parts smelting. However, these two guys are able to get steel into fine steel, and that's going to be very important later on, because sooner or later you're going to run out of fine steel. Then we're going to take the opportunity to turn 2 steel into 1 fine steel. About time to look for hardwood. There you go. More hardwood. Buy it up. All right. So now we're going to do the same thing again, but what we want to look at, we did not get the weapon yet, so we stick with this one. 151. 151. 153. We're up to 159 damage. You can see he gained about 32 points. Now, because I am a practical smelter, my brother is going to smith. Until these guys are able to make more weapons. Right now they can only make 3. However, when they have their stamina loss for smithing, then they'll start to make 6. But you see, we'll actually be able to get it all done. Because I am a practical smelter, you watch what I'm able to get out of this whole list. This is a big list. I did almost all of it myself. That's how much we can get done now. Now, as soon as those guys start getting have the smithing and they can start making 6 at a time, then that's when you really start flying, because you're producing twice as much. So you're getting twice as much done in a day. But we pretty much have one of the best ones right now. 159 damage is right up near the top. You're not going to get much better than that. So we got it really good. Now you need to choose from here. Do you want 1 control or 1 vigor? So what is going to be your main goal? I'm going to go ahead and choose vigor. It's not a huge important part. And from here, we'll go get the riding, because we do need to get riding horde. And this is the artisan smith or practical smith, where now smithing is halved, or trade penalty for selling. I'm not selling. So if you're going to sell, you want to have 1 person have this, so they don't take a trade penalty. But I'm not selling. That's what this guy isn't built for. Blood axe. He is a curious smith. He is a practical refiner. They're all going to be refiners. It's just myself and my wife are smelters. Everybody else, refiners. My brother is also a smelter, just in case. You see, I'm putting everything in there, not for my character, but for them. She is a refiner. He is a refiner. As you can see, I already have 185 skill. I'm almost 200. I'm going to probably be 200 this turn. And we haven't only been doing this for, what, 20 days? It takes you less than 100 days to get done. Less than that. The longer you do it, the more skill you're going to have, the more points that your guys are going to have to spend, the longer that you do it. From time to time, check out the hardwood. It's at 10 right now. I'm happy with 10. Still, we didn't get it. It's that right there. You can see that says 123. Although that says 140. I thought the other one was better. The one that you want, I can't remember if it's this one or this one. It's red color. It's that one. It's red. That's 155. That's 153. The one that you want here is this big ball right here. 161. These are 156, 154. You want that big ball. Normally you just do it 3 times, but people, as soon as they start getting that half smith, they're going to be able to make 6 each. And this is where it starts to get boring and repetitive, but it's when you get past about level 125, you have everybody past that. That's when it'll be really boring and repetitive. $206, I think I got. I'm already up over 200. $206, 2 points. Hawk, wow. Since he's already got so much into vigor, I'm going to put it into control. Scholar is a refiner. Put it into control. My wife, who is a practical smelter. So now, for the most part, myself and my wife are going to be able to handle it. You are Frostbeard is going to be bow. I'm wondering exactly how long this is going to take. I might not cut anything out of it. This might only take about an hour or so. You just want to get to the point where you say, all right, I'm good on skills, and then just decide, all right, time to make weapons, and just call it good. And I can do that virtually anytime once you get the print. Now, I want a certain pole arm, and that pole arm, you need, I already got it. I already have my pole arm. That's the most important thing, is that right there. That is my massive pole arm that you see me use every game. I already have it. I'm done. I could technically stop right now, build one of those, and then build weapons for everybody else and call it good. I could literally do that right now. We started at day 244. We've only been doing it for 18 days. That's it, 18 days. And I could be done right now if I wanted to. But the longer you go, the more skill people are going to gain. This one, I'm trying to remember what the best one is. Is it that one? I think it's that one right there. I don't think it is. There's another one. I don't know which one it is right off the bat. We got it. That's it right there. No, we didn't get that one. Soon they're going to get that half smithing though. Then they're going to start making 6 at a time. Well, you can see how we're going down on fine steel and we're getting a bunch of steel. That's because all you basically lose every time you make one of these and smelt it, all you're really losing is just 1. You see this takes 3? You're going to get back 2 and 1 when you smelt it. So that's all you're losing. So every so often, you just need to have everybody that's able to refine steel into fine steel. And that's it. Now, because I have other skills that I'm doing, I am going to end up maxing my character. And when you max your character, you're not going to gain skill. So then I'm going to shift myself from smelting to refining. I'm going to start refining hardwood. Because you're going to run out. You are a refiner. And you are most definitely vigor. You're a infantry. He's already maxed. So now you need to figure out what you're going to do with them. Obviously, you want to have a skill, whether or not they're going to have a bow, and then riding and athletics. Even though the riding there looks good, you do need some athletics, especially for when you're sieging. But we need to get him out of that control. He's got to get out of that so he's not hard capped. There you go. Practical smith. Stamina speed for smithing is half. Stamina spent. So now he's going to be able to make 6 weapons at a time. You are going to be... Do I want Leanna with a bow or do I want her cab? I think I'd rather have her cab. This is 120. 6 times 14 is 84, and minus 10 is 74. 194 is cap. So I would like her to get 200. So we're going to put you on vigor. You're already maxed. Frostbeard is going to be Bo. He needs a lot of work. All right, we're done with that. You didn't get it yet. Getting a ton of parts. I should probably show you one time through how I do the refining. I know I gained a level. This is always the fun one. You can either add one focus point into two-handed and one-handed, both. Or you gain an endurance, which gets you another 14 skill. So it's really cool. And a lot of times I will definitely take the endurance. I'm gonna go vigor on him. Endurance. He got 2 endurance points out of it. Alright. I will now show you how I refine. You start to run low on charcoal, you start to run low on fine steel. You need to go through and you need to refine it into that. So what I do is the guys that actually took Curious Smith cannot do fine steel. You have to choose one or the other. So these guys right here can do fine steel. These guys cannot, as you can see, steel to Damascus. So these guys will actually take and they will go ahead and get this iron and make it into steel. So here's what I do. My first guys will, of course, do up some hardwood. Always be careful and make sure you're choosing it again. It defaults back. Now the rest of the guys are going to do steel and fine steel. Steel. And you can do this for probably about 2-3 days or so. And you only really need to do it once, and you should be done. You shouldn't have to do it again. And we're about done on that steel. These are the only two that can do fine steel. So I think we'll do it one more day. And then we should be done. The rest of the guys, that's why we had them choose this. So now they're going to make charcoal on the next day. So we'll do it one more day. Yeah, the funny thing is we could be done right now, make weapons and go. And we haven't even been at this an hour. Not even 1 hour. And we're really ready to go. It's just, when do you finally say, all right, I'm stopping? That's what you have to decide. When is it you're just saying, I've had enough? Also smart from time to time to check and see what's here, because these things can get cheap. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have these guys do the fine steel, because we know these two do it. So we're going to have them do fine steel, and then everybody else is going to do charcoal. So you can see we got 366 ready to go, which is pretty good amount. Now we're going to have all these other guys get this, because these guys are curious. These are practical refiners. So their stamina is halved for doing this. Where the first three of us are practical smelters. So we can do a lot of smelting, which from their smithing, we can turn it back down. So as you can see, this goes really quick. I mean, we got quite a bit of steel that we could put into fine steel. However, we don't really need to do that at this point. We are really good to go. This is probably all we're going to need. I think for the most part, we're going to be done. I don't know how many more times we're going to go through this. It's not going to be a ton. We're nearly finished. You're talking only about an hour to do the smithing. And I have a feeling we're only going to spend maybe about 30 or about 50 days doing it. That's not a lot of time now with the snowballing issue being mostly fixed. It's really not. Still didn't get it. We needed something in here. I think it's that one. However, we did get that. We didn't get the ball yet. Now, if I wanted to sell this, I could equip all my characters. Now, they don't have 120,000 on them, so you're never going to get 120,000. You'll see what these sell for. Look at that. That's a lot of freaking money. And you can see they don't have it. However, what you do is you sell one off, and now you could go ahead, sort this by value. You could buy all this stuff. Look at this armor. Well, we'll go to somebody else. Look at how amazing that is. And then the helm. Oh, there's my shoulders. Yeah, I definitely got to have my shoulders. Sorry, guys. I got to spend money. 2010s. Best in the game. Actually, no, we got to reset this. We're not selling. However, I still want my shoulders. So you could use it to equip your characters. If they don't have the money, then just buy their equipment. I'm already up to what, 234? Alright, I got 7 points there. I gotta put one more point in. Endurance. Endurance. And voila. This is exactly what I do to Smith on all the playthroughs when I say I'm not going to show it. This is really all I do. I do virtually the same thing every time. Now I did get it, but that is nowhere close to that. $151. So 157. Yeah, I don't think it's as much. These that I have. Now we smelt it. I'm 240. Smithing. This doesn't work. Unless I gotta watch. If I had no points, I'd like to make them two-handed. All my archers I have with 2 quivers. I gotta look what's gonna uncap her. 5 times 14 is 70, is 60. Plus that's exactly 180. Do I want her to get 14 more two-handed? This, though, is only... Oh, 4 times 14 is 56, 46, only 126. It wouldn't even uncap. So obviously that is going to go to bigger. Alright, pause it just a moment. I'll be right back. So, as I said, we are at the point right now where we could stop. I have the blade to do my pole arm. We could just go ahead, stop, make our weapons, and go. And it only took an hour. Not even an hour. I think I was done at 51 minutes. Now, I did get lucky and I got my part, but that's where you get the curious smelters and the curious smiths to be able to get those parts faster. Now, obviously, in a death game, you would probably stop because you don't really need a bunch of skills on your companions unless you want them to have charm, so they're emissaries, which is a really good thing to do in death games, is make them emissaries. Send them to towns, and they can gain all those spots for you. So I am in a non-death game, and the more you do this, the more points they get, and you can add them to these skills that you want them to have. So it really does matter whether or not you're playing a death game, but it is for you to decide. Once you have your parts and you can make your weapon, if you don't care about it being a legendary and you just want to get to the game, we're under 300 days and we're ready to become a vassal right now. I am all set to be a vassal. Now, obviously, we have not checked, and we haven't done much time. Normally, I spend about 100 days smithing. I'm not going to be doing 100 days. As I said, this is a long video, but this is kind of a reference to the people that really don't smith a lot and really want to know exactly what I do for smithing. How do I, get all these points and do this really fast? And this is kind of that explanation for you guys. So you can see exactly what I'm doing every time. So you know, still did not get our ball yet. And it's just, when do you want to stop? Say, okay, I've had enough. Do you like long games or do you like quick games? If you like the long games, then you might want to sit here for 100, 150 days. Get a couple people up to legendary so you can make those incredible weapons. Or you just might want to have your weapon and go. And that's what this is going to be. As soon as I get tired for the day, I'm going to stop. I'm obviously going to upload this to YouTube, but I'm going to end up stopping. And then tomorrow I'm going to live stream. I'm going to get all our weapons so we're all set, ready to go, and get us a little bit of stuff to equip our characters, and then I'm done. He is my brother. He is a practical... I don't think he needs smelting. I think he can go refining. I think just my wife and I can do smelting. Yeah. Because I'm going to have him make some hardwood. And that would uncap him for two-handed. He's obviously going to be a two-handed sword. Even though that's higher, he's going to get points here. So I think we're going to go bigger on him. That will uncap him. I like having two-handed swords or axes on my archers, because, or even my horse archers, because you only have 4 spots: a bow, 2 quivers. You can't have a sword and shield. There's his endurance point. And I do feel like I want to move away from that blade though. And the reason why is because it's a higher level. I believe that other blade is a higher level. So I think you're going to get a little bit more EXP out of it. Not much. Let's check for hardwood real quick. Yeah, I have more hardwood. So I think that's what I want to do. I'm going to have to reload this. You could see the memory leak is going to cause these to disappear, but actually they are the same. Yeah, it's that one. I don't think we got this one yet. Yeah, I don't think that's the right one. I think it's this one or this one is the right one. Let's see, 151. 151. Oh, they're all 151s. This one for sure is this, the red one. Isn't it? Yeah, the red one. This one is the ball, which we got. So you can see we are always at 157, 163. That's even more EXP now. We got all of our, we're missing one. But we got all of our parts to get our max smithing every time we do this. And if you're not able to smelt all of them, it's no big deal. I was actually able to smelt all of them. But if you don't, okay, you got a couple left over. Save it for the next time. That's where we have our brother is a curious smelter, so he can smelt also. Next, I do need to think about leadership, athletics. Those two I need to think about. Right now, he's looking like a cab. Budget 14, 70, 60. Right now, he's at a 180 cap. If I put this in here, that would put his cap to 220 on a pole arm. It's either that or go to the two-handed, which I do love two-handed, especially getting the axes. So you got to crush through or slice through, whatever they want to call it. So right now he's looking like he's going to be a cab, also because he has throwing. So you can have a two-hander and like 3 sets of javelins. Anyway, there you go. Next. That's kind of bugged right now. I'm getting emissary from my kids. Even though they're only 13 and 11 years old, they still get, they're still being an emissary, which is a little weird. And I got 3 profitable workshops, so you can see I'm still making 400 or 100, 342 a day. I'd make more if I got rid of some of my army. You don't need as much of your army sitting here when you're doing this. So if you wanted to, you could get rid of them. This is the one I'm not sure of. There's still a better one. You can see it still gained. You gain like four skill points. That's a lot for somebody that's up over 200. That's approaching 300 to gain 4 skill points in one day. Yeah, smithing is really broken. So the whole question is how long do you go? When are you happy? Just say, okay, I want to stop. Let's just go. All right, smelt it up. That one don't work. He's got full endurance. He can hit 330. Blood Axe can. Legendary. Now is when you want to start thinking about your companions and what skills you want them to have. I already know Liana, who is my brother's wife. My brother and Savannah, my wife, are going to run groups. Therefore, you want to make sure that they have the points into running group. So you might want to decide, okay, do I want to put one more point into there? Or do now I want to start thinking about, instead of wasting that point, putting it into medicine? Since they need scouting, leadership. Well, leadership they can't really gain. I could uncap her steward. Right now her cap is 138. So I could put this in there and she could gain another, 12 points of, so you got to think about that. I'm letting it go there for now. You just want to start thinking ahead. Obviously, this is my scout. He's going to be an archer. But I do want to max my scouting. Right now I don't have an engineer. But that's where my next level, I could go ahead and get an engineer. I have a knowing out there. And now that I have the parts, I can save up some of the materials and have him immediately spend like 10 days smithing and getting a bunch of points. So that's something that you can plan ahead on. All right, that one's 151. 51. Well, I thought there was a better one. Guess I was wrong. Guess we're going to stick with that one. 52. Oh, well, I guess we're sticking with that one. $163. It really is up to you to decide about stopping. You can do this for 200 days and max everybody out to their red hard cap. They would have so many skills it would be crazy. Because you can have them up in the level 30 by doing this. depending on how much endurance they have. The endurance is the big key. That determines how far you can get up. Some characters are only going to have 4 or 5 endurance points. I already showed you one, he's got max endurance. He's going to be able to hit 330. I'm going to go with leadership now. I'm going to start planning on, because I want to become a vassal really quick. And by spending a lot of endurance, it means you don't have to put as many points into athletics or riding. So then you could start choosing these. So this becomes a really tough choice. You have the Hawk, who's already got 3 points. Although you could put 3 points into two-handed. So do you really want him to have a one-hander? Or do you want him to have that two-handed axe that can slice through multiple opponents? It's something you really got to debate. And I think I'm going to end up going with two-handed. Just because I know I can get him a few more points. Endurance. And that's really it. It's when do I stop and build my weapons. That's all it comes down to right now. I'm done. I've done everything I've needed to do. I'm ready to just call it good, make my weapons, and I can go. When do you make that call? I literally could have stopped. How long is this now? I literally could have stopped 20 minutes ago if I wanted to. But like I said, the longer you sit here, the more skills you're going to gain, and also the more items you're going to unlock. Right now, we have most of the stuff unlocked. But there still are some parts out there. And I do have, like I said, that one guy, I believe it's the Blood Axe, who is already legendary and can hit 330. So he can make my legendary weapons if I want him to. And that's normally what you do. You find your top couple guys that can make legendary and try to get a couple legendary items out of it. You can always try that. For me, the most important thing on my polearm is swing speed. You want to swing as fast as possible. Because you're going to use axes. I love swords because you have the entire blade to hit. Where with an axe, if you hit them with your handle, you're not going to do anything to them. But when you're able to slice through 2 or 3 or even 4 enemies, that's a pretty big deal. I make sure I don't make the axe too long so it doesn't get blocked by other people. But I really do like having the axes. Look at that. All unlocked. Most all of it's unlocked. You'll see new parts are coming up. The whole time you're going to see that. Because these guys are all right now Curious Smiths. So they're going to get a ton of parts each time. We basically parted ourselves out. We're gonna have virtually every part by the time we're done. We could have every part. Then we gained a level. There's another level. I almost gained a level. Legendary. He is a... Oh yeah, he's my infantry. So, because I know he's my infantry, I want to get him throwing. And you are an archer captain. Well, I shouldn't say captain, really. Alright, Leanna. There's your medicine. Savannah. Alright, we'll do one more. So I think that is pretty much, I have shown you exactly everything I'm going to do. So now I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to build some more parts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the video right now and then I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to build. I don't know how long I'm going to sit here and do this for. It's just kind of one of those things where all of a sudden I decide, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop. Is when I'm going to go ahead and stop. We're about an hour and 23 minutes in. And as I said, I could have stopped a half an hour ago and be done. It's just how many skills do you want to gain. So this is where the repetitive part comes in. And now I'm just going to go ahead and pause it. And I will come back when it's time to build our weapons. And I just finished up. Now I did take a little bit longer because I did want to get some skills. I did end up getting my next clan tier. However, I have not got my workshop or the companion. I do want to plan on taking the knowing. He is going to be my engineer. However, there's a bug going on where wanderers are disappearing. So I'm not sure if he's in the game right now as they do disappear. So what I did was I went through and I already figured out exactly what everybody's going to be. I have them assigned to their group. So I know what group they're going to be in or formation. I know what weapons they need. I know who needs to build them. I got that all figured out. So first is going to be my two-handed polearm. That is my blade. I have pretty much the same setup. Right about in there. It's 205. Yeah, that's right about it, right there. That's what I would normally make. And the only thing is get legendary, you get the swing speed, so you get 64. So I already know who my 3 people are to go ahead and build it. So what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to get that +4 on the swing speed. And I always call these things the same thing. 1, 1, 1. All right. Another 1, 1, 1. All right. We didn't get the handling, but we got +2 on the swing speed. So really, for me, I'm going to call that good. Even though I could get something better, I would technically be happy with it. Let's pull it on here. Let's see. That's just got handling. But that has the less. No, that should be the one. 72. So that, I'm fine with that. I am totally happy. So now I am finished. So now I will go ahead and I will smelt this all down. Now we need to build one-handed sword. And since that is finished, we will now dip to the hawk, who will build a one-hander. Now I believe normally for one-handed swords I do end up using Damascus steel. And I'm not sure why this is all gone since I just reloaded this. So I am not sure why it's gone. I can't see the picture, so it's a little difficult for me. I think that's the one. Swing speed 101. Little low on the damage. That is a pretty good one. I'm not sure why these are all gone. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that's good. So first things first, we need the masking steel. Now we can go back and build it. I got nothing out of that. Nothing. Nothing. Alright, we got a little bit. One swing speed, 1 cut damage, 2 handling. Thrust isn't important. I am going to live with that. I am happy with that. So that is going to go to Blood Axe, who is infantry. There it is. So he's got his weapon. Now what we need are 7 two-handed swords. Yeah. Everybody else gets a two-hander. better rest my guys up. So yeah, I gotta build 7 of them. Now this I'm not going to be too stingy with, because when you're building 7 of them, it can take you a while to do it. And I don't want to take forever, so I'm probably just going to build all I can build. And hopefully I'll get 7 decent ones. Actually, I do not want 2 inventories. I want executioner axes. Because the axes can cut through. I like that one better. It's a little shorter, but it's got a lot more speed, and that's what I like about it. Although, how much can I get? Oh, that's not bad. Wow, look at that. It's short, but it swings fast, and that's a lot of damage. Right there. 113 reach, 85 swing speed, and 75 handling with 127 damage. Everything but reach can be increased. So it's going to be 113 reach, but we could technically get this up to 89 swing speed. You do want it long when you're on horses. However, when you're not on a horse, you kind of want it a little bit shorter. You don't want to be too far out, because when you're in a crowd, you're not going to really hit them. So I do like that right there. So we're going to live with that. All right, we didn't get one there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. We only got 4 of them. I think I'm going to live with it, though. Da, da, da. Blood axe is done. Golden. That should be it. They should all be regulars now. Which, I'm not too extremely concerned about it. It's not a huge deal. Well, I probably should have looked at the ones on the bottom for any, And that is it. So I now have everybody ready to go. Except for equipment. They don't have all the equipment. They are now all in their groups. They all have their weapons ready to go. And let us see how long it took us to actually do this. I believe we were at day 244. So right now we are sitting on 308. So we spent 64 days. I am just over 300 days in. Clan tier 3. So I believe I can have 2 more groups. Yep, 2 more parties. So I can be pushing about 500 in my own army. And everybody's ready to go. The only thing I need to do is I need to get another workshop so I can get more renown faster. And then I do need to pick somebody up who is going to be my engineer right now. And that's it. We're all good. Everybody's got a ton of points for all their skills that we gained. You can see, look, all maxed practically. He's going to be the golden. I do need to make javelins though. I got to make 5 javelins, so I'll end up making that. As you can see, all their fighting skills are pretty much maxed. His isn't because he's going to run a group, but he's going to be my archer. So we're all good to go, and that's how I do smithing. As you can see, I did 64 days, but as I told you, I probably could have done it in about 30 days. If I had just said no legendary, let's just get going and not worry about their points. 30 days. I would have been like day 260, ready to become a vassal with a pretty decent army. So this is what I have going for my live stream for tomorrow. Well, actually, it would be today. This is going to come out early on Thursday morning. I will end up live streaming at somewhere after noon. And I'm probably going to live stream for about 5 or 6 hours, in which we're going to immediately try to become either a mercenary or a vassal, because we want to get into some wars, and we do want to take our first fief pretty much as quick as possible. So the only annoying thing, of course, as I said, is the icons. See how they're going? So you got the icons there. You got people missing in the screen. Even when you go into the smithy, it's pretty bad. We're still waiting on a hot fix for that. So that can get pretty annoying. But if you want to come see me, twitch.tv/Flesson19. I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. This is how I smith. If you have any questions, please ask me. I'll be more than happy to let you know. Take care, and thanks for watching.